What do you say? They're just stories. Just stories. Hello again, how are you doing? Back out on another walk. Thank you so much. It seems a few of you at least like the stories, so cheers for that, really appreciate it. Overwhelmed with the amount of views I've received. That's just beyond what I expected to start off with anyway, so thank you so much. And more importantly, everybody who's taken the time out to write something. I've had a lot of private messages as well, which has been like, wow, you don't expect that. Some of them have been actually incredible that I've not had a chance to get reply back to yet, because I really don't know where to start to reply, because as I said at the beginning, it's just stories. It's just stories. But stories can sometimes be interesting. I'm trying to think where we left off. We left off with making the move to Tenerife. There's a lot of people around today, so I'm being a bit quiet. Give me a second. I know, I can't help it. It's funny, I've just left Shelly 10 minutes ago, but I've just had a 10-minute conversation with her. Jen, she'll know how it is. I said to her, come on then, how do we meet again? Let's get these facts right, because God forbid you would absolutely kill me if I got it wrong. And it's from what I remember to what she knows, you know what I mean? It's a typical bloke thing, I think. So it was 4 years ago, and I do, to be honest with you, I forgot one thing, but I did everything else I knew. 4 years ago, August the 20th, 2018. Just before that, a couple of weeks before that, my eldest at the time was 18. And she says to me, Dad, she says, I think you need to go dating again. I went, what? And she went, you go dating again. I went, do you reckon? She went, yeah. She says, let's get your profile set up, internet dating. So she set me a profile up, and do you know what the thing is? I actually thought to myself, yeah, I'll be a player. I've been hurt. Hi, Steve. I thought, I've been hurt in a marriage, I've come out of it, and trying to pick my life up again. I'm moving to Tenerife, that decision's already been made. So I thought, yeah, let's go dating. Let's have a bit of fun. I'll play the field. I'll be a player. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that didn't go very well. I'll tell you that now, by the way, but I think you've already worked that one out. So I've set this profile up. Plenty of fish, don't knock it. Internet dating, do not knock internet dating, by the way. If you are single and you are thinking about how on earth you'd like to get back into a relationship, do not knock internet dating. Apparently, according to Shelly, there's a lot of absolute idiots out there. So her review is you have to go through the dirt to find a piece of gold, which apparently she found. Whereas for me, I'm 1 for 1, so I didn't do too bad. But anyway, I'm waffling, so let's cut to the chase. What happened? Plenty of fish, came across her profile pic. I thought, what a pretty face. Black and white photograph, really pretty face. And he said, if you can make me smile, you're halfway there. So I sent her a joke. We got chatting after that. We got chatting and we arranged for a date. And the date that we arranged for was a coffee date in a coffee shop in Penshire in Sunderland, where she came from. So 9:30 in the morning, we met up for coffee in this coffee shop underneath. If you know Penshire, it's underneath the what is it? The memorial? I don't know what it is. The Penshire Monument. That was it. Penshire Monument. This beautiful coffee shop in there. It's really nice actually. And we had coffee, and we parted. That was 9:30 in the morning, and I think we parted company at 3:30 in the afternoon, because from the coffee, after that we moved on to the pub. We found this other pub in the village. I don't know where it is because I don't really know that area. And we just got on, absolutely like a house on fire. We just got on to the point where Shelly will tell you at the time, she said it was like meeting herself in a male form, and it was unbelievably refreshing. The date went. You might have seen it on the other channel anyway, the main channel. But the date went pretty much as so as. So what's it you doing? What do you do for a living? She went, I'm a singer. I went, you any good? Then she told me about The Voice, and I looked it up there, and I saw the audition that she was on The Voice. If you've not seen it, just go on YouTube, type in Diva The Voice, and you'll see Shelly with her mate Maxine. Tom Jones turns, Jessie J turns. And actually, I didn't tell her there and then, but I actually do remember watching that live on the TV when it was actually happening. So, not live obviously, but when The Voice was showing it at that time, I was actually remembered that one. I remember that audition. So I was like, wow. She asked me what I was doing. And I said, a bit awkward really, I'm moving to Tenerife. And she said I used to live there. And it was like, unbelievable. She'd spent 8 years over here. In the time I'd spent over here, when my daughter was born, she'd even walked into the shop that I had, that business that failed, but she'd actually gone into that shop. She says she remembers it, and it's just ridiculous when you think about how people's lives passed at the time, but it was not meant to be. So that was the first date, and then we'd arranged to go for a meal. So let's say we met on the Sunday, we arranged to go for a meal on the Wednesday, and we'd left at I left at 3:30, went home, and straight away I cancelled it in my head. I didn't cancel it with her straight away, but I cancelled it in my head. And to this day, she always says, and then you dump me. And I did. And it's weird, the reason being, and this is where it most probably gets a little bit deep, and I've got to choose my words very carefully here. I knew, right, how do you explain this? I'm a salesman. You know I'm a salesman, car sales, you know all that. In sales, there is a process. It's called a 7-step process. Everything has a process. You don't think you can get sold to. So if you're a customer who comes on to me, you think you know your own thing. Trust me, guys, you don't. There's a process that people go down, and it's 1 to 7. Sometimes you get 1 to 3. Sometimes you get hit number 5. Eventually, you hit 7 with people, and that's what a sale is. There's a plane coming over. It fascinates me, the plane, sorry about that. So anyway, sales process. I was quite a successful salesman. I knew really at levels, at point 1, how far down I was going to get, like to point 7, which is the actual sale, so the end result of what I was after. And I'm going to use that analogy with Shelly, because even though we'd only just met, let's say at point 1, in that instant I knew that it was going to be point 7 all the way through. We were going to get right to the end. And it scared the hell out of me. It absolutely scared the crap out of me, whether I wanted to do that after just coming out of a relationship, the type of relationship that I had, the position of where my life was. Was it fair to her? I was going to leave anyway. I was going to Tenerife, and I think the fact, it's not about the Tenerife, it was the fact that I just knew that we were going to, this could be it, the commitment forever. And I didn't know if I was ready for that, so I finished it before it even started. So I put the fire out before it got into a full-on blaze. She said at the time that was fine, but I don't think it was. She knew the same thing, and she knew what she was after as well. And I think she saw the inevitable of it, and she just played it her way to try and get me. She knew that if she went full on after me, I'd most probably run away the other way. So she just went, yeah, that's fine. After a couple of weeks, she sent me a text. She tells me now she was in a club, and she sent me, because she's working, and she sent me a text. And so we picked up the conversation after a couple of weeks, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And she said, look, let's go for a meal. No pressure. Let's go and have a meal and just see how it goes. So I thought, yeah, I could do that. We'll do it as friends. Knowing I knew damn well it wasn't that late, So we went to this meal. It was a place in Seaham, a restaurant in Seaham. Again, I don't know the area, so Shelly took us down to that one, and just had a simple meal, nice meal. And then after that, went to a bar along the seafront. Really nice bar, actually. I think it's a hotel bar. Grab the microphone, it's getting a bit windy. I think it's a hotel bar we went to, and went for a drink. There was a singer on, guy on acoustic guitar playing. It was nice. We just had a drink, and straight away again, it's just like that feeling again, when you know. It was just that feeling. Had a great night. Left it. Went home. Daughter in the meantime's asking, how's it going? And I'm like, trying to be all coy and shy. Another one coming over. Busy today. Ryanair's coming in. And that was it. It was actually 3 dates, you know. It was only 3 dates, because the third date's the date where in my head I went, yeah, this is it. I know that I'm going for it. And I'll tell you about that one. 2 seconds. I've always got to look to see if somebody turns around. I wonder what he's doing. So the third date was the one. We'd arranged to meet again, and Shelly was singing at a club. I think it's Monk's Eaton in Newcastle. So she said there's a pub nearby, so let's meet in that pub. Now I thought she knew this pub. I didn't know the pub myself, because I don't really know Monk's Eaton. So I get to the pub before her. And to be honest with you, the place is a bit of a shithole. It is not the sort of place where I would hang out. I mean, I come from the golf club world myself. She's working at conservative clubs and stuff, so the areas are most probably 2 completely different areas. So I've got my order self a Coke because I'm driving. I've waited for Shelly to finish a gig and turn up, and she does. This big white van turns up, because she's still a member of a 4-piece rock band at the time. I said that wrong. She's not a member of a 4-piece rock band. She runs a 4-piece rock band. She's been doing it for 10 years. And it's her van, it's her band, it's her gear. So she turns up with this white van, massive van. So she tells me she's outside, because the rule is, gents, you never let a lady walk into a pub on her own, do you? So I went outside and I went, listen, we're not staying here. We're going. She actually tells me afterwards, she went, oh, got flutters, because we're not staying here because the place is a shithole. So I knew where I used to work around the corner. There was a nice place called Shiremore Farm, and I took her to Shiremore Farm, and we went for a drink in there, and that was the third date. And on the third date, we sat there, and look at this is how quiet it is. That's when I put my arm around her for the first time, and apparently she just went, my heart melted. Did it melt, Shelly? Did it? Put it in the comments if it did, Shell. And that was it. I knew it was all in. It was all in then, all or nothing. So Shelly was actually planning on going to Tenerife on October the 4th for a week. She'd already arranged a week's holiday, because she knew a lot of people over here anyway. So I was due to fly out the week later, so mine would have been October the 11th, I think. So she said, look, you know, if you want to change your flight, I'll get you in the Aspire Lounge, which is the business lounge of Newcastle Airport. And I've never done that, and I went, no, that's all right, I might try that. So I changed my flight to a week earlier. I was coming anyway, so I just changed it to a week earlier. Met in Newcastle Airport, went into Aspire, flew in Aspire. I'm backpedaling like mad again. Don't expect to see much of me over here. I've got my life, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. She's like, yeah, okay. In her, she's like, whatever. And then that night when we landed, I called her, we went out. To be honest with you, we actually had a brilliant night. It was one of those, we never stopped. And since that day, I don't think we've ever stopped laughing since. And I genuinely believe that. I don't think we've stopped laughing since. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. You find out. I'll tell you what. Some of you might know this. As I said to you before, some people, their life pans out for them, just pans out. So with work or with finances or whatever, other people have to work hard at it. But also I think that comes to it with love as well. Some of you just are in love with each other forever, you've met each other and it's just worked for you, and if you're one of those people, fantastic, I'm over the moon for you. Other people, you might be there now and you might be going, this might not be it. I've been there, I've been through that, and I tell you now, when it comes to me and Shelly, I'm in the first bracket now. I've fallen into that first category. There is no way on this earth me and her will ever not be together. And I knew that at point one on that first coffee. I only went out for a coffee, and look at me now. I was a man who was come out of a marriage, 15-year marriage, who was never ever going to commit themselves ever again, ever, to anyone. Look at me now. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So, that was October. The week had passed. In essence, it was a week's holiday. She goes back to work, back in the UK, and I start my life over here, which is a different category, by the way, which I'm going to put on a different vlog and tell you everything about what happened over here and what I've been doing since I've arrived here and how it gone, and that's a different chapter. This one's about me and Shelly. So Shelly then takes the decision on, which is incredible, to basically commute on a weekly basis. Sometimes it was a bi-weekly basis, depending on the gigs, to Tenerife and back. Now this is how incredible this lady is for me. So somebody to do that for you, to travel 2,500 miles on a Monday morning, sometimes taking 10 hours to find the flights that work, because she might fly via Malaga, she might fly via Dublin, she might fly direct, but because obviously we're not multimillionaires, we were flying Ryanairs, and luckily Ryanairs were doing 30 quid flights at the time, but sometimes you had to go via, you know, to get here. So she would do a 12-hour flight on a Monday, sometimes a 12-hour trip to come and get to Tenerife. She'd fly back on the Thursday, or actually on the Friday morning she'd fly back, and then she'd go gigging in the UK with a band Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then come back out again on Monday, so we could make this work. And that's what she did for a year. She basically did that for a year. A bit windy down here, guys, sorry. I'll wait till we get the wind out and carry on again, alright? So this happened for a year. Can you imagine that? It's incredible. Following October, I just said it then, because I'm all in. As I said, look, I don't want you to travel back anymore, I want you to come and live here. So I want you to actually base yourself here permanently. And that was the big step, really, because that's when she had to give up her business of 10 years. I mean, I've seen them. They were really good, accomplished musicians. It's an accomplished show, really good show. And she had to give that all up for me, and she did. And that's how committed she is as well. So, with it being a business, with the people there, she had to give them 3 months' notice, and she gave up. And then January the 4th, she worked all the way through till New Year with the band, because she had gigs already planned in, they're already pre-booked for like months in advance, so you had to do her commitments. And then after that she moved here on January the 4th. So, brand new relationship, been going for a year, on and off, seeing each other for a year, backwards and forwards, long distance relationship. January the 4th she moves over. March the 17th we get locked down, living out of each other's pockets. That could have gone very bad, and it went absolutely fantastic. I'm going to tell you about that one. That's probably in the next one. So, as I say, it's just conversation, just talk. Hopefully you find it interesting. If you do, brilliant. If you don't, it's fine. Go and find something else. But for me, once again, thanks for the support. See you on the next one. See you guys.